Welcome to the Berks Homes Podcast, the business of building homes. I'm Katie, I'm here with my brother Ben, and today we are talking about what we're excited about in 2025, or just in the industry in general. It doesn't have to be 2025.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been saying 2025 nonstop the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're already in it.
Yeah, okay.
Not looking ahead, we're in it.
Right, yeah, what we're excited about.
I'm excited about the Eagles.
Let's go. That was a fun game
That
yesterday.
was a fun game. Snow game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was great. So, two things that I'm really excited about. I'm excited about, and this is kind of a weird thing to be excited about, but I'm excited about the prospect of the market being closer to normal than the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because this is when, so real estate is obviously a cycle like anything else. We've been in this incredibly long cycle.
Yeah.
Artificially so with COVID and stuff, but it's pretty easy in some regard to sell homes when the market is on fire. Not just talking about real estate agent wise, but just, as a builder.
Yeah.
The market can tolerate a lot when things are really hot. And it's a little unfair for those of us that consider, ourselves to be professionals.
Ah, yes.
And so it's a little bit more of a level playing field. And I look forward to the new set of challenges that it brings. Not asking for it to be any harder. Just saying, there's a new normal that we've had to adapt to over the last 6 months or so. And I'm excited about our team having to reacquaint themselves with some of the skill sets that are necessary to do well in average, normal, even market.
That's a really great perspective. Like, a cliche is a cliche for a reason. Necessity is the mother of invention. This is an opportunity to get creative.
Yeah.
To innovate a little bit and refine our skill set, to your point.
Yeah. When it's hot, it's like you're dealing with different challenges, but it's all the same as everybody else. And in our business, with it being so capital intensive, there's another restraint layered on top that not everybody has access to money and, to purchase land and all that stuff. That as interest rates have stayed quite high, comparatively speaking, it's just, it takes a lot of perseverance and planning and execution to do well. And I'm just kind of excited for it because it's going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to get good at it before it is very hard.
Right. Well, that will prevent it from getting even harder.
Yeah.
The better we refine things this year, the easier it will be no matter what the market does.
Right.
Either way.
Yeah. So that's one thing. I mean, the second thing is I'm excited to, this is more for our business. I'm excited to, just see how the year goes with our operations setup, the way that we streamlined a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I can already see the early successes and the communication flow being very smooth and quick and being able to pivot quickly, which is really great. But over the next 12 months, seeing how that works and if it's easier to expand within the territories and, make decisions quickly, acquire land quickly, and all that. So those are the two things that I'm kind of thinking about that really are, more or less our business, not
right
necessarily,
now.
Not necessarily like the industry at large.
Sure. Yeah.
There's always innovation there.
Well, I'm definitely excited about some of the stuff that came out of our meetings last week. We went out to all the offices and had our remote session. Just the concept of everyone rallying behind ideas. That's really exciting to me.
Yeah.
I'm just really impressed with the feedback that we've already gotten. Everything from, reusable K-cups to only changing our warranty. I mean, there's just the amount of impressive thought that has gone into it in just a week.
Right.
Like, I'm just super excited about that.
When you give people permission to be creative and, no dumb questions, no dumb ideas, just constantly saying that some of the biggest winners oftentimes are just like completely overlooked as that's not even a decision. You're like, well, actually it is.
Right.
Because we haven't talked about it doesn't mean that it's not on the table. And for those of you that are listening that aren't privy to what we're talking about, we're asking everybody to put a little thought into process and, cost savings in general, but more centered around being efficient and doing things differently that might be something that we haven't entertained in a long time. Why do we do it this way?
That was a big thing that came up too, was you might have asked this 3-4 years ago. So why do we do it that way? And gotten an unsatisfactory answer. Ask it again. This is the time to bring it up again and say, it's still not fixed.
I still think this is dumb.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And those are the things that it's really exciting to think about. And the other one along the same lines, it goes hand in hand, is my favorite activity that I like to do at least once a year is the stop doing list. I think I may have mentioned this before. Yeah. And this is a great opportunity to do that exercise for everybody. Why am I doing this? Well, can we just stop doing it?
Yeah.
That's efficiency.
I'm going to put an idea on everybody's list right now if you're listening. Stop emailing me. How about that?
That's a really selfish one.
Yeah, put that on everybody. No, I'm just kidding. But if you didn't have to check email anymore, how great would life be?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That is the top of a chore chart.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was awesome. We got to spend pretty significant time in each office and also spend some time with all of the remote employees as well at the end of the week. It's just always great to see everybody's face light up when you talk about what we accomplished as a group and then what you're putting on everybody's plate for this year. You can see the wheels turning and how am I going to accomplish that? And there's a level of excitement that's always associated with both those things.
What was kind of where we're going with this conversation, this is going to be a little short and sweet episode because we want to kind of do a reminder and go back to core values conversation. We want to revisit that, kind of get everybody's mindset for the year. Mindset set.
Yeah.
Well,
I know what you
so
meant.
Articulate today. And so if we want to do a little challenge to everybody to go back to episode 3, and we did an overview of our guiding principles. And then we're going to come back in the next few weeks, finish doing our what it means to be aware and what it means to be driven at Berks Homes. Just kind of do that deep dive into our core values, what it means, how we live them out every day. And the reason we're bringing that back up again is because we were reminded last week that we haven't talked about it as much as we used to. And it's front and center for us all the time.
Foregone conclusion.
Which you can never take things like that for granted. And I think we were starting to a little bit. And so this is a great opportunity to get everybody refocused on, those things first. And it was really cool to hear how people tied in our core values to the things that they saw in each other last year.
Yeah.
So that was part of the meetings, giving everyone the opportunity to highlight some of the really cool stuff that they did together as a team.
Shout out coworkers. Yeah. Yeah. And it was cool because we kind of redid our presentation
halfway through the week
after the first one. Yeah, because it was like, whoa, that's great feedback. I completely forgot that we can't take our foot off the gas with that.
Right. We hire around it. We
like an assumption. It's like so part of the decision-making process that it's like not even talked about. But it was really good because we had 3 areas of goals for this year: financial, operational, and people. And it was just the way that the slide showed, right? We started financial, and then we were operational, and then people, and we flipped those 2 things. Financial was at the end because that's really how we think of it. Like we really focus, we start with people, then we move to process, operations, and then the financial aspect comes later. We don't
an outcome of the first 2.
we just don't wake up every day thinking about the money. Actually, very, very little thought goes into
It's not about that.
the end goal of the financial aspect. But so it was kind of interesting how we did that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of being able to connect with everybody, going out and, looking at people in the eye and having a conversation. You get those aha moments and you're able to say, oh, yeah, I've things that I assumed were clear in my communication aren't sometimes. And it takes that feedback and it takes connecting with people to learn that stuff.
One of the challenges that I have that I'm trying to, put top of mind and keep there that I just never really thought about is, people are looking for inspiration at all times. There's very few out there, I would say just in general,
myself included,
that are fully motivated on their own, Yeah, and I would say I don't know how I feel about that. I always look at myself like I'm the only one that can move the needle with my
Right.
motor. I'm the one that's going to push myself. Nobody can say anything to make me want to go further, but I don't really know if that's true.
Don't you think that you're challenged by things that you're absorbing even outside of our company? Like,
sure.
I believe that it's my job to stay pushing, moving forward, driven internally. And I look to external things for my driver, to look at people and go, okay, well, how are they doing that? Or what, do you know what I mean? Like,
yes, that's how I am too. Yeah. I don't expect those around me on a day-to-day basis to be like inspiring me
right.
to move forward.
I hope I'm doing that for others.
Hopefully. But I just kind of realized that last week a little bit where it's like, hey, maybe this isn't who I am necessarily, but I have to, show up and do that.
Be
the inspiration or at least a piece. You don't have to just be this charismatic leader that is all about vision to do that.
Right.
It can come in all shapes and sizes. That's why I added a little bit in the last couple presentations.
Yes, it was very good. I loved it.
Because I was like, wait, there's still something missing. Like I have to change a little bit about who I am in order to, meet everybody where they're at. I'm like straight shooter, just even keeled all the time.
Right.
And sometimes you just need to, put a little mustard on it.
Well, I was talking to Dad about this a little bit because he was, how did it go? Asking, what I thought about the week and how everyone else was feeling about it. And
he was there at all three, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Wow.
And he said we were kind of analyzing where we came up with the format. And I think we were just following suit with what everyone was expecting because that's how company communication was handled up until this point. So we didn't want to disappoint and not communicate anything, but we still haven't arrived with what our style is yet.
Yeah.
And so
it was like a little contrived at first.
Yeah.
But that's just because that's what we used to do.
Right. So that's something else. Actually, this segued perfectly into what I'm excited about this year is landing on our mode of communication that we're comfortable with and that our entire organization is comfortable with receiving.
Yeah.
We are going to strive to continue to be more authentic, more clear, set, very clear expectations and communication. That's going to be like something that we never stop working on. And I feel more optimistic about it this year than ever.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to...
A little more in control of that.
Yeah, and can be fun.
It's always going to be fun.
Right. I was not thinking of it as fun previously.
Talking in front of a bunch of people is not always like...
easy.
Fun.
Right.
But it can be fun.
Yes, and that's my excitement and kind of goal for the year is to make that process a little more enjoyable
Engaging.
For everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and it's funny because at some point, there's always that joke. Half the people at a funeral would rather be the one in the casket than giving the eulogy, and that's like really true. It's probably like 3/4 of the people. But even you guys can raise your hand and say something. You don't have to stand up here for an hour.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just once you get, there's just a point where if you get engagement, it just piles on.
Yeah. And
You know what I
everyone
mean?
did a great job with that.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
It just piles on. So it was fun. It's always good to spend time, especially non-structured time that we got to spend a little bit before and after.
Yeah.
Which is where you get, good conversations and stuff. But
Yeah.
I had a great week last week.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's over, but
I did want to say that thank you too to everyone who did say things in the meetings before and
absolutely.
after. The feedback, again, like we've said before, the feedback we got was just invaluable, like so fantastic. I love it. Yeah, and last week then we even got to go out and do a frame, like a model
that was
review.
Cool. Nailed it. Yeah, it was a really good one.
It was really good. Taylor gets the shout out, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, Taylor Perkins, great job. I mean, talk about having a project under control.
Yes.
It was very evident.
I just kept seeing things that was like, and this is marked and this is taken care of. And I don't know. I was just really, really impressed.
Very clean, everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looked really good.
Yeah. So we're getting back out there.
Yeah. Great job, Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
So next week we're going to come out with probably Driven and then Aware.
You just keep pushing off Aware, don't you? What's your hesitation with Aware?
Aware? I don't know, because I'm like, you don't have it. Somebody,
You can't put words to it.
Yeah. I'm like, if you have to work on that, which is ironic because I think awareness is easily one of the core values that we all need to revisit.
Yes.
You can drift, the others, helpful, humble, those are often characteristic traits that you have, you're born with. Yeah. To some degree. Awareness, I think, is like a lifelong pursuit.
That's a good way to say it.
And I'm not saying that I have this, super high level of awareness or anything, but
maybe
some
that's
people
the
just
problem.
Have none. I'm not talking about our employees. But Driven's easy.
Well, for us it is. Yeah.
So
we'll come back with those.
Yeah, I'm excited to highlight that, going off of the feedback we got last week. They're absolutely, the things that we use to make decisions on a daily basis.
Yes. The most important thing we have ever done. Yeah. Is put those together.
Right. We're still building houses, but through that lens. Yep. We would be doing that no matter what business we're in. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we got another meeting.
Yes, we do.
Go Birds.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.